down, soften through the knees, roll down, let your body hang, let that weight just drop you as far down as you can, let your chin drop to your chest. If you do come to the floor, maybe extend your legs a little bit more, and then just now let them stretch. Put the weight to the side, bring your hands down to the floor and drop yourself down onto your knees. Lift your eye gaze, lift your tailbone, take a little back extension. Exhale, curl it under. Push the floor away, open the shoulder blades, dip your chin. And then come back to neutral. Just push your hips to one side. So we're stretching out down the side of the body. So I've just pulled my shoulder away as if I'm pulling my rib cage away from my waistline, pushing my hips away and stretching out. And then through to the other side, a little side stretch after doing that little oblique work. And then back into center, drop down onto your elbows. We're going to start with the right leg, which is my front leg, and we're going to work. Leg extends away. So nice flat back. Have a look at your camera and lift the leg up so it lines up with your spine, so it's nice and straight. Hips square, abs on. We're going to tap the leg slightly out to 45 degrees to the floor, lift it up, and then squeeze it back behind the other leg, tap it down. So we're coming out, lifting up, tapping down. So just stay nice and strong on the arms, nice and stable on the shoulders. Keep the belly squeezed. 4 more taps. 3. Feel those buttocks firing up. 2. 1 more. 1. Tap 1 more behind. And then come out to the side. Drop the toe to the floor. Tuck your toes under. Pause here. I want you to walk your arms forward. Lower your body down. So it's a wide. My right leg is wide. My knees on the floor on that left leg. And you're just going to pause, holding a kind of a half plank position. Tuck the belt, tailbone under, squeeze the belly in. Pause there. Do some little presses through the hips, tiny little movements, really warming up through the body. 7, 6, 5. Keep that right leg strong. 3, 2, and 1. Walk the elbows back under, back into box. Lift that leg up, point the toe, pulse it out. So because the leg is out to 45 degrees, your right hip wants to fall. You're going to use your abs to prevent that from happening. Keep going, keep going. 9, 8, 7, 6. Use your obliques, so side of the waistline. 4, 3, 2, 1. Swing it up, take it around, press it to the floor. Pause here. Lift it up. Squeeze that inner thigh. Pulse. So we're just going to work at a slightly different angle. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Feel that left buttock engaging. Keep it going. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. Just tuck those toes under. Walk your hands back. Press your bottom into your heels. If you want to go a little bit further, come onto your thighs. If you want to go further, sit back into your heels and just find your breath. If you wish, you can go a little bit further back onto his fingertips, lift your chest, pull your knees together and just feel that weight pushing down into your heels, that wonderful flexion through the ankles, stretching into the arches of your feet, down deep into those toes. 1 more breath there. And then bring yourself back onto your hands and knees. Okay, left leg. Take it out and back. Just going to tuck my top in. It's annoying me. So take that left leg back and behind. Extend it. Lovely straight line. Engage the abs. Drop down onto the elbows. And then we take it out. Tap it down. Lift it, squeeze it back. So there's going to be a little bit of give through the hips because you are abducting and adducting the hip. But I want you to make sure you've got your core strong and pulled in tight so that there's no pelvis rotation or it's not tilting back and forth. Four, three, don't rush it. 2, last one, tap it behind. Now lift it up, take it out to the side, press down into that foot, make that leg strong, walk your elbows forward, drop your hips down and hold a little half plank again. I'm going out the camera. So I'm just holding here, keep pushing the back of my knee straight as possible on that left leg, pulse the hips, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk the elbows back under. Nice strong stable position again. Lift that leg up, point the toes, squeeze the buttock out to the side and let's pulse it up and down. So abs on, feel your obliques holding your hips in place. Press, breathe. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swing it back, drop it to the floor. Reset through the arms, abs on, squeeze and lift and press into the inner thigh as you pulse up. Pull the belly in tight, navel to the base of the spine. Last 10, 9, 8. Come on, squeeze the buttock. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down. Tap the toes, sit back. Second round of just opening out through the arches, the feet, maybe just wake up those muscles of the toes. And then swing your legs around in front of you. Bring yourself down onto the floor. So lying flat on the back. Taking your weights. Get rid of my socks. Out wide. So we're just going to wake up the lower back into rotation before we do a lot more rotation work. So to start finding your tabletop position, we're going to allow the knees to drop over to the right, not too far. Pause there. Extend both your legs. Pull the toes in, push the heels away. So my toes are aiming towards my right hand. And then I'm inhaling, bending the knee, rolling back through to center, over to the other side. I gaze the opposite direction and push the legs straight as you can. If this feels too much for you, then you can just pause and that top leg extends on its own, pushing through the sole of the foot, and then bend the knees together again, rock over, and the top leg this side. And if you're doing one leg, try and keep the knees pushed together so it challenges the hamstrings. And when you extend, try and use your abdomen to pull your toes up a little bit higher. And, you know, halfway down is about right. You don't need to go much further than that. And just enjoy working side to side through that breath. Total control through your tummy muscles. Don't let the heels drop down towards your buttocks. Keep that 90-degree angle the whole time. We're going to go one more each side. Now on this side, we're going to pause here. We're going to extend the legs 10 times, or the top leg 10 times. When you're ready, inhale, exhale, extend, point the toes, bend. Extend, push through the soles of the feet, release. 3, 4, come on, work that belly. 5, 6, 7, 8, come on, pull those toes in. 9, one more. And 10, back to the middle, pause there. Take a breath. Exhale, over to the other side. Squeeze the belly, let's go. Press away, 10, 9, shoulders down, 8, 7, squeeze, 6, and 5, nearly there, come on, let's work it. 4, 3, last 2, one more, and 1, good, come back to the middle, pop the feet down, find your breath. So bring your arms up above you, turn your palms forward and carefully just drop your arms behind you to the ground. Just take your legs straight and take a full body stretch by taking a long deep breath in, lifting up through the rib cage and exhaling, just lowering the chest, back, everything down to the floor. Just do that again. Now, keeping your arms where they are, pull your knees back in, lift your legs up to tabletop and then tuck them in a little bit more. We're going to raise the arms off the floor so they're hovered. You can do this with or without weights. We're going to inhale to begin. Exhale, circle the arms all the way around, turn the palms down and crunch and press the weights together behind the thighs. Then drop your head and then bring your weights around. Don't drop them too low behind you into that circle. And you just push your knees away a little bit. So you circle, tuck in, tap the weights or tap your hands or your fists and then drop behind. Squeeze and push away. So you can push those thighs a little bit further away if you want a little bit more on the lower abs. Just be very wary of your lower back. So my breath, exhale. Inhale on its way around. Exhale here. Inhale on the way around. Exhale here. Got it? 4 more. Good. Keep going. We've got 2 more to do. Let's do this. Make it strong. 1 more. And then reach, pause. Now squeeze the weights together. Lift those thighs in. Lift your arms forward for 5, 4. Come on, pull in, tuck in. 2 and 1. Open the arms, head down, shoulders down, and let the knees pop over towards me, to my right side. So my top leg is my left leg. Just take your eye gaze and just find that stretch where you are. So you can stay holding onto the weights. If your arm starts to get a little bit numb or a little bit tingly, then release the weight and perhaps bend your arm a little bit. If you need to completely release it, just slide your hand onto your rib cage. I'm going to try and keep my arms open. Now, try and push your hip so it's sitting, so this top hip is sitting kind of directly above the lower one. So my left hip bone is sitting above my right hip bone. Engage in the abs, try not to let your hips rotate. We're going to lift that leg up. We're going to extend that leg away. We're going to bend the knee back and lower the knees to the floor. So inhale up, exhale, extend. Inhale, point the toe to bend and pop it down. And I'm not quite dropping my thighs together. I'm just staying in that little hover. But when I extend my leg, I keep the thighs aligned. So I'm pushing into hip flexion, controlling through my obliques. And we're starting to work a little bit into those outer thighs, outer buttocks. So 4 more of these. Just make sure that this hip isn't rolling, It's very easy to just rotate and let that knee creep up towards the sky. This is abducting and then lengthening. So on this next one, pause at the top. We're going to extend the leg, point the toe, pull it in. Kick away, pull it in. Kick away for 3, pull it in. Kick away for 4. See if you can lift that leg another inch or so. See if you can pull the toes a little bit further in towards you, engaging your abs. 6, 7, 8. Come on, start to feel that lactic acid building up on that left side, and 10. Hold it there. Turn the toes up. Let's pulse. Press slowly. So slow pulses, nothing too crazy. If you go too fast, you're going to lose that positioning in your hips and pelvis. Come on, let's work it. 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 10. Come on, squeeze it. 9. You should start to feel really heavy. 7, to the point where your leg wants to stop. 5, 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Bend the knee. Let's go up and down. Keep it moving. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lovely, lovely. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. We're nearly there. We've got 12 more presses to do. 11, 10. Just opening and closing. 8. Don't let that knee rotate. Just squeeze it up. Lift it up, losing the side of the glutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just drop it down. Roll it back very briefly if you need to just release the buttock. Just find your breath. Take that left leg over the right leg. Pick up the thighs and wrap your hands around the shins and try and drop your head and shoulders to the floor. If that's too much, slide your hands on that ankle and then left hand on the knee and just pull down here. If you can't quite reach around, and you'll find that stretch right across the side of the buttock. Horrible, horrible stretch. If you can, open your arms, keeping that interlaced position in the legs. Drop over to that same side again. If that's too much for your lower back, stack the legs again. So just find your breath. Try and relax into it. And if you are, interlace, uncross, and stack those legs. We're going to stay on this side. So hands to the side of the head. We're going to inhale to begin. Exhale. Little side crunch up. Straight back down. So what we're trying to do here is close the rib cage towards the hips. My buttock's not liking this position because it needs to rest. So we're just lifting and dropping. So your chest is coming up towards your left hip bone. You naturally will want to rotate. Okay, we don't want to do that. We want to just lift and drop. Lift and drop. Just supporting your head lightly. Then take your back hand, reach beyond the butt, and then squeeze and down. Squeeze and down. Keep it going. 8, 7, come on, work it up. 6, reach your fingers further. 4, 3, 2, hold this one up, and let's tiny little pulses right at the very top. Keep it going. 8, 7, don't rotate. Keep looking towards the fingers of this hand that's reaching. 3, 2, and 1. Just take an open arm again. And relax. Begin to bring your knees back into the center, rolling into the middle. Grab hold of those weights again. Take your arms above your head, tuck your feet under your knees, and just take a lift up into a bridge. So look at this like a stretch. Just pressing down into all 4 corners of your feet, letting those thighs lift up high, putting the knees slightly closer in, squeezing the butt. Opening out through the chest, reaching those arms. Keeping your right arm grounded, your left arm grounded, your right arm is going to come up. It's going to reach and come back for 1 and 2 and 3, 4, lift a bit higher, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Drop it down straight to the other side. 1, lift the hips, squeeze the butt. 2, which is very good isolation exercise in that lower body. 4, 5, 6, 7, lift higher. 8, 9, and 10. Take the arms wide, lower down, roll, 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 roll. Really enjoy that undulation through the spine. Take a breath in neutral at the bottom. Imprint your spine, lift your legs back up to tabletop, tuck them a little bit closer in towards you. Lift those arms a little bit higher above the head. And we're going to circle around and we're going to exhale. We're going to tuck in and pull in again. This time, if you wish, you can extend one leg as you extend your arms behind. Pull it in, tuck it. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Yep, totally optional. You can do the one you did before, earlier, where we just pushed our thighs away a little bit. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Really draw the thighs in as you pull your weights around to the back of the thighs. Keep it going. Two more. Last one. Now pause here, lift those legs in. If you can extend your legs out, now lift your head and shoulders. Push those weights together, lengthen, squeeze up, pull the thighs in. 5, 4, lift, 2, and 1. Head down, shoulders down, arms wide, bend the knees, and let's drop our legs away to the left. And just breathe into that shoulder, find that stretch, relax just for a few moments. Bring that breathing back to complete control. Slow, slow, slow. It's all about slow. So just on the next breath, we're going to begin to work those legs, that top leg. So if you want to free this arm a little bit or just let go of the weight or bend it a little bit, do so. Keep it strong and lengthened. Make sure the hips rolled. So my right hip is stacked on top of my left. And we're going to lift the leg up, extend it away, bend it back in, and drop it back down. So as you can see, I'm pointing my toes as my legs come back, and I'm flexing to kick the leg away. Keep it in front of my hip bone. Well, you can keep your eye gaze up to the sky. You can look away from your leg. You can even look towards the leg if you prefer, see what's going on. Wherever's comfortable. We've got 3 more left to do. Try remember to keep the thighs aligned so you're not allowing that leg to drift down here, which is what it will want to do when it gets tired. So we hold this one up, we push away, turn the toes up slightly, let's pulse. So remember, the pulses are controlled, they're not fast, because if you go fast, this is going to wobble all over the place, and we want the hips to stabilize, engage the abs a little bit more, And feel those outer thighs working. Come on, keep it going. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Use your tummy. 3, 2, hold it there. Bend your knees. Let's go up and down. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You want to get lactic acid running through those thighs. Complete concentration on lifting the leg up and down purely from that buttock. Keep it going. 10, 9, 8, 7. See if you can go that little bit higher. Just that little bit higher. Last 4, 3. Come on. 2 and 1. Release it. I'm going to briefly roll out. Get out of that position. Let it settle before you go into a deep stretch. Cross that leg over, and if you can, like you did before, tuck the thighs in, catch around the shins, drop your head and shoulders to the floor. Woo! Or just catch hold of that ankle and that knee if you can. You always feel free to use a band. If you have one to hand, or a towel you can wrap around the legs. I'm a lot tighter this side, so I struggle to get my shoulders and head to the floor here. And it's nasty, just nasty. Whew. One more breath. And if you can, open those arms and see if you can rotate, keeping that entwined position of the legs. I'm going to take mine off because of my lower back. It's a little niggly at the moment. I don't want to push it. So this settles my spine quite nicely with this rotation with my legs stacked one on top of the other. And then take another 1 or 2 breaths where you are. And if your legs are entwined, just begin to bring them back to stacked knees like mine. Hands slide behind the back of the head. And we're going to exhale, crunch up and release. So exactly the same as the other side. Rib cage closing down to hip bone. Try not to rotate away because that's what we naturally want to do with this lifting down and up. Just let the leg relax. The buttocks should still be fired. Curling in. Just think side crunch, side crunch. Now that front hand, right hand reaches beyond the buttock. A little bit wider. And as you look towards the fingers, crunch. 6. Exhale, coming up, inhale down. 4, 3. Come on, lift up. Now hold this one up. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Come on, stay rotated more towards that hand. Don't turn towards the knee. Press, press. 4, reach. 2 and 1. Release it down. Open the arms. Hands slide back onto those weights if they are there. Lift the legs back up into center and pop your feet down to the floor. Take a breath. Bring your arms up above your shoulders. Take your arms back behind again. Take your legs straight. Take a full stretch. Bend those legs one more time. Okay, so we're going to roll back up into a bridge. We're going to isolate, but if you want a bit more of a challenge, pull your left knee in, extend your left leg to the sky and pause here. Right arm comes down, touches the thigh, back up. 2. So exactly what we're doing, we're just working left leg and right arm. So left leg's high in the sky, the right arm's doing the work here. 5, be strong in that right thigh. 4, at any point you might want to bend it to ease off a little bit, or very lightly have the toe tapped on the ground just to ease, just so you've still got pressure in. And then gently bend the leg, pop the foot to the floor, lift your hips, swap to the other side, right leg in, bent or straight, and we go. 10, hips up high. 9, 8, 7, squeeze the butt. 6, 5, 4, 3. Come on, lift up high. 2 more. Last one. And 1. Bend the knee, pop the foot to the ground, and roll it out. Good. Slide your arms back wide to a T. Pause there. The shoulder blades might have tucked under. Release them a little bit. Okay, legs up to tabletop. If you can, extend them to the sky. We're going to let the legs drop very gently over halfway. We're going to kick the lower leg away and pull the top leg further in. Then we're going to lift the legs back into center. Take them over halfway to the other side. Bottom leg pushes away, top leg comes in. And so on. So over to the right, bottom leg away, top leg pulls in, bring them back together and into center. I'm going to have to move myself because I'm getting into the wall as I kick. Now, if it's too much, keep the knees bent. And then you can just push away, pull back, and back to the middle. So basically, it's just halving what you're doing. Push away, pull back, back to center. I'm just going to move myself up a little bit, keep going. So I've got some room. Over to the left. Keep it going. So squeeze those abs. Lovely extension in the legs. Pull away as much as you can. Good work. We've got one more each side. Okay, pause in the middle. Take a breath. We're one more over to this side, and we're going to stay here. We're going to split those legs, and we're going to pull them back together. Split them, pull them back together. 3, 4, one more, and 5. Back to the middle, straight over to the other side. Roll it, roll it, roll it. Pause, abs on strong. 1, together. 2, together. 3, keep it going. 4, one more. 5, back to the middle, back to the center, and drop the legs to the floor. Release your hands and gently take a little roll. Side to side. Hands around the back of the thighs. Roll yourself up. Flip your feet around behind you. My mat's moved about a foot down the mat. Anything to do with bridges, everything begins to slide away. So bring yourself back to your hands and knees. Good. Grab your weight. Okay, so we're going to continue into those lovely rotations. We're going to do the arm swings up and feeding under. And before we take it into a nice stretch, we're going to do something in between. So let's just start with this first exercise. Left hand under chest, knees wide. Grab the weight. So we're going to start. We're going to feed the arm under. So we rotate. And then we come all the way up and squeeze up to the sky. So I'm pulling my shoulder blade back, turning the waist and the rib cage, and then scooping the belly in to keep the control, feeding. Keep it going. So it's just a really nice, lovely control movement. 2 more. Now on this next one, this last one, I want you to pause at the top and then really engage, pull down, lift up for 5, 4, come on, use your tummy muscles, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the weight down. Come down to your elbows, just curve the spine. Chin to chest, tailbone tucked under. And then release it. Walk your elbows forward, tuck those toes, so I'm wide on my mat, and take the legs up into a plank. So you can stay here and just breathe in a plank. You can drop to your knees and stay here if it's feeling too much. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, we're going to turn and drop one hip down, rotate the feet, and drop to the other side. So what tends to happen with these rotations is your toes will slide away from you. So when you come through to the middle, tuck your toes in a little bit and then drop. Try and keep your elbows pinned to the floor. And you won't necessarily go all the way down. I'm not making it to the floor. I'm just taking it in the control of my obliques. 2 more. Back to the middle. Pause. If you're on your knees, try and come back up onto your toes, or if you need to drop to your knees, do so. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest it down. Come into a little child's pose. Head down, arms down, shoulders down, bottom down, and breathe. And then come back up. Let's work on the other side. So right hand under the chest, knees wide, feet slightly closer in. Soften this elbow. And we're going to feed under as we exhale. Inhale, rotate and squeeze that shoulder blade. Feed it. Squeeze it. 7, 8, 9. One more. Holds. Ready? Pull it back. Squeeze it up for 5. Abs on. 4. Pull that shoulder blade. Come on. 3, 2. One more. And 1. Drop it down. Good. Drop down to your elbows. Tuck those toes under. Wide plank again. And let's go back to those rotations. Dropping down. Turn. Down. Turn. Remember, you can just stay here if you wish. And hold. You can be on your knees. Keep it going. 3 more each side. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Into the center. Pause. 10 seconds here. Squeeze it. Breathe. Lengthen that spine. Push into the heels. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Finally, rest it down. I'm going to bring my knees close together, hands down by my side, taking hold of my heels and curling into a little ball. If this doesn't work for you, just come into a cat stretch, releasing your lower back. Hands down by your side. Roll it up. Let's take a stretch into those hip flexors. So sink down into the hip, hands inside the foot, extend that left leg, and just breathe and sink down. If you can go further, drop to your elbows. Just make sure you stay soft in the shoulders and lengthened out into the spine. If you're on your elbows, come back up onto your hands. Take the foot in slightly, taking your hand on the outside edge of the foot, walk your fingers back, and then just push back, toes pointed, stretch down into the hamstring. And just release, try not to hunch those shoulders. It's so easy just to hunch those shoulders. Relax, breathe. Change the stretch, toes in, heels away, slide the leg another inch or two, and then drop down. And you'll just feel that stretch change more into kind of the back of the knee area, maybe into your calves if they're tight. And then carefully just ease it off. Take that leg back around, straight over to the other side. Lift up, left leg sink into the hips, hands inside that foot. Lengthen the spine and stretch the hip flexor. Just relax through the shoulders. Come to the elbows if you want to go deeper. And then bring yourself back up, walk the foot in slightly, hands come in, toes to the floor, straighten out that hamstring. Work it down. Toes to the sky, heels pushed away, and go deeper. Yeah, just release up, hands inside, swing that leg around. Let's stretch out the buttocks. So we're going to go hurdle today. I'm going to start with my left foot just to show you. Sit into that buttock, pull the knee in. Take your hand, your right hand on your left foot, take it a little bit higher, and then drop down to your forearm in front of that shin, and then ease your head down towards the toes. So that's really strong in that left buttock. Take a few breaths here. Right, go on to the other leg, just lift yourself up, lean back, turn your knees and drop to the other side. Come forward, grab that foot with your left hand, and the same as the other side. You try and drop your forearm down in front of the shin and then ease your chest towards that foot as you lean into that right buttock. And then on your next breath, just carefully begin to ease it off. Walk your hands back in, lean back, bring your hands around, come into a comfortable cross-leg position and sit yourself up tall. So hands resting on the knees, you can hold on to them lightly and just pull your chest and shoulders, chest forward and shoulders back. Engage your abs just to hold yourself here and open your arms lightly down by your side. And we inhale up towards the sky, very gentle circle, bringing your hands light together, closing down in front of the chest, giving yourselves a bow and a clap. As always, I very much appreciate your support and have a wonderful day and week. I hope you enjoyed the class. Bye-bye.